Sideline of goal! Lakewood's doing it! They're gonna take it! He's gonna bring down Birdie! Alone with a double kill! Dropping fast! Bonnevoy's there! He's still alive! Wait, second slide! He's got one side! He's got a second! He's taking it! They're overdone! On three! They're all dead!
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The Summit 2 by G2A.com continues right now. It's time for Cloud9 versus VPpolar. I'm LD, he's Merlini. But we've got some new faces on VPpolar, as Goblak did leave them to join Nav-V, who of course did not make it to the playoffs in Europe. They also do not have Scandal today, and so another teamless player will be standing in as we hop into the draft, Ben.
Where's FNG going to go?
FNG and Mag are both standing in right now.
Oh, is that FNG?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay.
he's no longer on a team. Mag's not on a team, so they're both free agents. And for now, VPpolar seems like roster changes might be in the air.
Cool.
But neither player competing in our tournament any longer and no longer affiliated with teams, so it's all good there. Draft's underway, and the Terrorblade returns. It's been so long since I've seen this hero, mostly because it's been so long since I've cast Cloud9.
He is difficult to deal with, to say the least. And VP, I mean, they could have easily... I don't know. What would happen if they left Panda in the pool and they leave both Panda and Terrorblade? It's not like Cloud9 is going to first pick Terrorblade. I guess they are really scared of Fada's Brewmaster, or just anyone getting Brew for that matter.
Yeah. Huh.
With Terrorblade, is manageable though. I feel like I'm not exactly sure what EE's win rate with it. I'm pretty sure it's
He's like
well
12
above
and
50
2 or something.
Yeah, it's manageable. We saw an Earthshaker lockdown by PPD that was pretty good in shutting it down. Seen some aggro tries do decently too versus Terrorblade, but all in all, he is. I mean, Cloud9 is just really good at playing around the Terrorblade too. It suits their playstyle very well. So I think it's I mean, it's kind of just like banning Wisp versus Secret. You just do it because they're so good with it.
Okay, actually, I think he's 10 and 2 unless this is missing a few games. According to Det Dota anyway. So yeah.
10
Good
and
win
2?
rate. The team that took it down was EG, who did it twice. So maybe a slightly misleading stat because it's only one team that were able to defeat it, and a team that knows Cloud9 very well. But like you said, early pressure, early roaming can really hurt this hero. He's very vulnerable to magic damage, which VPpolar have quite a bit of. The Void Bash, the Ochre Magi Fire Blast, maybe the Maelstrom pickup, but not overwhelming. And part of the reason is that they've taken that Scarth Mage away from FNG and the rest of VPpolar, who, by the way, is doing the drafting. As of course they lost Goblak, so they lost their captain and drafter, and it seems that he'll be attempting to fill that role as the stand-in.
I wonder what they're going to pair with the Terrorblade. Whether it'll be like a Dazzle like they normally do, or maybe even something more defensive than Dazzle, although Dazzle's already pretty good at that. I haven't seen really too much Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon's not terribly great versus something like Multicast, though.
Yeah, it's a lot of burst, and they also have the Void. And Disruption does not have the best range, so compared to that Grave especially, it's pretty easy to get caught by the Chrono and
still you have
become
like
collateral damage.
The mass illusions though synergizes very well with Terrorblade. I'm surprised I haven't seen it a little bit more. So Venge.
FNG Dota, man, this is what he was drafting for Navi when they had a huge run of success right when the new roster emerged, where they'd run like their Venge, Skywrath Ogre, these types of heroes every game, and just run a gank train all across the map. We saw a little bit of core Venge for Havost. I'm doubting we'll see that here for VPpolar. Also, it's kind of a block pick if Cloud9 wanted the Venge to deal with Chronosphere.
Yeah. They need at least one defensive hero for Terrorblade. So.
There you go.
Yeah.
Grave, heal.
I mean, if they were going to pick the Venge, then why did they bother banning the Batrider? I mean, I guess Batrider's still annoying to deal with even if you do have a Venge.
Well, they banned 2 Bone 7 heroes. They banned Puck. I guess it could be a Fada Puck too. So that's kind of a nice ban versus Cloud9. You've got 2 players that use the hero exceptionally well, and then the Batrider. So trying to limit the team fight control that Cloud9 have
There's
here.
still LC, there's still Centaur, there's still Timber.
These heroes are a bit more elusive, though, and that kind of fits Cloud9's playstyle. Super Rat Dota. Like, Bone 7 usually doesn't even get a blink first on his bat. He gets BOTs lately and just constantly cuts the waves. Just creates space for Eternal Envy to get that farm on.
Mm-hmm.
So, Super Void looks to be in the making. They've got Bloodlust here, the Venge Aura, the Minus Armor. It's going to be an offlane Void for Mags, most likely, I think. Actually, I'm not sure, because Scandal is not playing for the team right now, so I'm curious who's going to be playing that offlane role. DK Phobos normally does it for VPpolar. It could actually be Mag as well.
I have no clue.
Yeah, I guess we're going to find out soon enough.
See, the Morphling picked up. Cloud9 banned out Elder Titan in the second phase. Pretty good versus Terrorblade, but also pretty good versus Morphling. But that leaves their lineup very farm intensive too, with a Faceless Void and a Morphling, so they might be trying to outgreed Cloud9 and go for just mass late game versus Terrorblade, which is, I think, pretty dubious. But Beastmaster picked up, not terribly great versus Morphling at all, and I don't exactly know why they went for Beastmaster here, because I think it's like mediocre versus Void. It's not good versus Morphling at all, because you'll just morph right through it. And the Hawk is good at scouting out ganks, I think more so mid than early, but you're not really expecting that much aggression from a Venge and Ogre. Or, sorry, from a Morphling. Venge Ogre, yes.
Yeah, I guess the main thing is you can, in theory, roar the Void when he Chronos, but there's still a lot of damage sources from other heroes, and particularly this Ogre Morphling can dish it out. They did ban out the Elder Titan in the second stage, so Cloud9 want to protect that Terrorblade as much as possible. They now remove a Death Prophet, expecting another fairly farm-intensive hero from VPpolar, who do look like they've got room for a bit of a tri-core here if they want to go that route. So far, good synergy with the Ogre and the Venge, lots of right-click, lots of physical damage, so
they don't have any.
Still good magic from the Ogre and Morphling combo.
There's nothing to dump in a Faceless Void ultimate though, which is somewhat troublesome.
All right.
That's
Centaur.
Pretty greedy, I'd say.
So, how do they do this?
What, Centaur off?
Centaur off lane, Void safe lane, Morphling mid.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I'm just wondering who's gonna play what. Mag Centaur seems probably the most likely. I'm thinking DK Phobos Void, but it could go either way, I suppose. We'll see how they want to distribute the roles here in a moment.
Cloud9 either looking for Fodder or Bone 7 hero. I mean, they could just go late game themselves if they really wanted to. I don't really see a good reason not to. They could also play aggressively with like Beastmaster and Skywrath +1/2 and punish VP's greed. So, I mean, I don't particularly think VP's draft is very strong. The Morphling just seems very out of place.
Yeah, he doesn't have long attack range, so he's a little bit awkward with Void. Like, they could have gone for a Death Prophet there, which would have been the more natural synergy, probably.
Yeah, and they could have pushed for Stairblade, which is also pretty good too. So,
yeah, I mean, and also Viper wasn't banned until the last phase, so that's another kind of long-range tanky carry that can push if they wanted to go that route.
Yeah, and like Morphling versus this, like, is he really going to be able to outsplit push a Terrorblade? Probably not. Terrorblade is one of the best pusher carries in the game besides like Lycanthrope. So, they don't really have any good lockdown though, aside from Beastmaster Roar, and Stampede will nullify Shadow Poison, or Poison Touch rather, as well as Conch Shot. So
yeah, there's a lot of heroes to shut down here on VPpolar. Like, if they have a decent start on the Void or the Morphling, especially to some extent the Centaur, there's only Roar to gank them, really. Yeah, you could farm Eternal Envy, but if those heroes get ahead, he might have to be. He'll need the Dazzle park behind him, and if they can find that Dazzle, they can get some kills.
I think an Orchid carrier would be really good for Cloud9, but none of the common ones are in play here. Maybe
Yeah, the Puck was banned, would bypass the need for that.
Quap would get owned. Storm Spirit, pretty vulnerable to Ogre and Faceless. So
They'll go for kind of a forgotten hero in the Templar Assassin. Man, I don't think I've seen this hero at all in 6.82.
TA is really good versus Faceless Void. She's like one of those heroes that just wails into Faceless Void during Mask of Madness.
Yeah, you got one Melt Strike, that's like half his health gone, 2/3.
On top of that, you have Refraction for Chronosphere, so you're not even scared of dying. So I think TA's...
There is Ignite, which is decent.
Yeah.
And there is Earn. And maybe that's one of the reasons why TA's fallen off, is just that Earn is damaged now, so it shreds your refraction charges.
Well, Roshan's also further away from
That's true.
mid, which is pretty bad for TA.
They have, I mean, we've seen this on Eternal Envy a lot. Terrorblade, yeah, it's an illusion-based carry. He's still ninjas the Roche super early. They can
He solos it sometimes with they do it with Beastmaster Boar, terribly plus
Yeah.
Beastmaster Boar.
use
So
the attack speed slow, tank with an illusion.
you never
smooth
know when
click
they're
it
gonna
in.
do it.
He sometimes will sunder a teammate or an illusion just to give himself a free fountain trip. He's got Dazzle Heal. They can Roche very early, but going into the pit is dangerous against VPpolar if they have eyes on it. They have Wave of Terror to scout, really good AoE, but will they know? Will they have the map where they
That's
want it?
very rare that is the case. I think the best way to contest Roshan against Cloud9 is to do it yourself. And they don't really have any good heroes to do it with. Maybe like Venge, but that requires like a somewhat stacked Faceless Void or some sort of lifesteal.
Alright, with that all out of the way, let's get our introductions going. There was a little chit-chat from Cloud9 saying, ban Centaur, because, Mag's in the game, and he played nothing but for C9 at Starladder, but Centaur was given, and it's not Mag playing it, and they're all just very confused right now. So let's introduce our teams. Standing in for VPpolar will be the currently teamless Mag, going to the offlane as your Void. Illidan will be playing that one-position Morphling-headed mid. They'll have a Lil handling your support Ogre Magi. Remember, this team no longer has Goblak, who's now been announced as a new member of Na'Vi. DK Phobos will be playing Centaur Warrunner, and that leaves FNG, Mr. Abrain, as he's currently calling himself, playing that Vengeful Spirit. So yeah, the other player missing here is Scandal, who I'm not sure what his status is, if he's just missing for today, or if he's possibly even off the team. And with that, Cloud9. Bone 7 in the offlane on the Beastmaster Fada. Solo Mid-Templar Assassin. Here we don't see too much of lately. Pylodine, your Scarlet Mage. AUI 2000, the Dazzle. And that leaves Eternal Envy on, what else? Terrorblade. God, he loves this hero.
Yeah, he really does. Cloud9
He wouldn't stop, like,
loves that
in the
hero.
players' room, he just would not stop talking about Terrorblade. It's kind of insane.
He's a good hero.
He loves that hero, man. Although I did see him play something else the other day. I think it wasn't a Slark, it was something more aggressive, though. Once in a blue moon.
Slardar.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was at Starladder.
Nope, they have a Sentry Ward already popped down in mid. Maybe trying to get aggressive on Fada here with the dual lane, but I mean, it's an ogre in the mid. You usually don't see a melee babysitter. It's very rare. Maybe
Yeah, he's tanky. He's not easy to kill, but at the same time, he also doesn't really do very much. Stun into waveform. It's not very scary.
yeah, not at all.
Or I guess ignite into a waveform.
The only melee hero you usually see mid babysitting is like Earthshaker.
That's more as a defensive support. Looks like they want to wrap around here bottom lane, but Bone 7 is a stout shield. He's got 4 base armor. Not an easy kill either, so dual lanes everywhere. The dual lane bottom to try and deal with this offlane Beastmaster, and then the dual lane top to deal with the offlane Void. And so far out of those two, the Beastmaster seems to be getting the better end of the trade. It's early, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he's not buying boots right now. He has the money for it, but yeah, he has a stout shield. It's very difficult for DK Phobos and Venge to take down Bone 7 right now.
Yeah, maybe if they get up to like level 3, he goes for the double edge build, just leveling that up twice, and they get 2 stuns off from the Venge. They may try for it here. Stomp, double edge. Alright, it's only level 2 double edge. Looks like it will be enough. Bone 7 on the run, and one more
Ooh.
swipe of that X.
If he had boots, he would have been okay. But
Yeah. He bought his TP scroll at least. He'll get back to lane quicker.
oh, he wants Soul Ring Rush so he can set Ganges. I still think boots versus pretty good for him. Just gets him out of range for Centaur, and he can also harass the Centaur a little bit better. Still, Fada gonna already have his magic stick and bottle. Gets that illusion rune. Top lane Mag coming under a lot of harass from these two ranged, quote unquote, heroes.
And Eternal Envy is free farming on his Terrorblade. Generally, when we see teams beat it, it's been with aggression early. And they'll go in on Fada mid lane. They've got available the Ignite. Fada won't have refraction charges for long as they chase him down. They'll manage to take down this TA. A nice pick off there. That roaming Ogre of Lil. It's been his most signature hero in the Summit in Starladder, and it strikes again.
Yeah, it's, I mean, all about the Vengeful Spirit roam right now, though. Killing mid, killing bottom. I mean, Terrorblade, sure he can carry if he's free farming, but if all his other teammates aren't doing well, then I don't know. He's gonna have his work cut out for him. But at the same time,
It's a tough game to have one farm carry. They do have Grave, but that's about it.
though he can easily come back though through Roshan though, so that's generally C9's backup plan for a botch laning phase. It's not even botch at this point, too.
It's tactical. Just don't plan on winning the lanes. Just draft so you can take the Roche. And
not
hey,
a
if you
bad
win the
plan.
lanes, it's a bonus.
It's always nice to have a contingency plan.
Yeah, they certainly do. I mean, with Meld this game, it's just going to be that much easier to take Roche. Already they had some potential for it, just would be slow and steady. They'll jump in on Mag here top lane, just nuking him back a bit. The Venge had rotated in this direction, but now FNG is going to head towards the secret shop. Looks like he's going to wait for the 4-minute rune. Nobody from Cloud9 moseying that way yet. Oh.
Alright.
Yes, we have game sounds, but volume issues, I suppose. They are a bit quiet.
And VP's taking over a lot of the map right now. Like Bone 7 is slightly scared on the bottom lane, top lane in full control by VP, and this really limits TA's effectiveness in the early game.
Yeah, she's only got 16 CS. Still doing better than her opponent mid in the Morph lane, though.
It's a party top.
Who's gonna walk away alive?
Well, they had vision of them coming up, so they definitely know that they're up here. And it's still really difficult to kill Owie. Like, if Faceless Void leaps in a tower, he's gonna die.
This Horde is doing a lot of work.
Need smokes.
I don't think they've used one yet. Oh, they did use the one when Bench came in, I guess.
Ogre also has one. So.
Okay, so they haven't even used it yet then.
Still, TA has a regen rune. DK Phobos well on his way to Blink Dagger too. Halfway to that 2250 mark.
And as we head towards the mid game, it's an early 2-0 lead for VPpolar. They're gonna go in on Fada here. The Ignite just making him a sad panda. No refraction for you.
Yeah, that GG Sentry War 2 in mid lane makes his life really difficult. Can't really dodge anything.
I think it used to be you couldn't meld dodge Ignite.
Mag.
I believe that was changed. Yeah, Mag on the being chased out by AUI here, just harassed a bit. He's still got Time Walk, he's level 5, so he's actually doing pretty well in his offlane. You compare that to the Beastmaster of Bone 7, a bit better, but they're also investing more in shutting this Void down. 3 heroes mostly sitting top. And for the Beastmaster, as he starts stacking Ancients yet, yes, he has 1 stack out. They're going to have a fast Centaur blink, though, and that could be the key here for VPpolar. They're going to Stampede, really committing on towards Bone 7. TP was used and then cancelled. This is going to be a good timing for VPpolar, though, Ben. They'll get an early blink on the Centaur, and there's some very squishy targets this game. Skywrath, Dazzle, Terrorblade even. Could be in trouble.
Illidan. Waveform for the top rune. Fada misses the Meld Strike uphill. Wow, that is quite unlucky for him.
Now they're going to look to turn this one around, maybe. Well, I don't know what Lil's plan is, but they'll try to find the Skywrath Mage. He'll run right by him. The TA is going to have to come and assist. It's annoying, if nothing else. Hasted Ogre. He might not be smart, but he's very fast.
And tons of armor, too. Not really vulnerable to Meld Burst.
Yeah.
So
Not
tanks.
vulnerable to anything, dude. High HP, high armor. Just a beast.
Old Ogre, man. First pick material every game.
Apparently. It's funny because that hero was just flat out ignored. Like, the only team that I remember used to run it back before all the buffs and changes was Alliance. They'd only pick it in conjunction with Bulldog's Lone Druid for the Bloodlusted Bear. That was it. I think that was at TI3. Did it one game versus Navi, I believe, in the Grand Finals.
Pick once at TI4, too.
Not like Skywrath, though. What did that hero have? Like a 70% pick ban rate or something? 80%? Ridiculous.
Something like that. Well, Terrorblade off to the jungle, so C9 trying to get their maximum efficiency on. Bone 7 farming bottom and Ancients. C5 farming mid, EE in the jungle, and the supports taking top in the pool. So they're getting everything out of all 5 of their heroes, and even though they're down by 2 kills and first blood, they're still pulling ahead in gold. Classic C9 style.
This is before the Roche sneaks attempted, before they start taking towers. As Fada's going to dive Illidan mid lane. He went in for a waveform just to farm the creep wave. He's going to be punished for this. Where's those teleport rotations? Maybe not punished that much. It was close, though. They have their Blink Dagger on DK Phobos now, though. Stampede's online. They're bringing in Aberrane. And with the Ogre also coming, they're going to smoke. And they'll clash immediately at this rune spawn if C9 don't back the hell up. Illidan has no mana, though. He's going to bottle the rune. And they'll ping out the Dire jungle exactly where the supports are. They've got vision of it from this Observer Ward. freshly planted. And they make their go now. Eternal Envy. This is classic C9. They always rotate Eternal Envy to the woods right around this time, and he may well get caught out here. They'll Stampede to engage, getting close. He's not skilled Sunder. He's already taken that 7th skill point just to max out his Conjure Image, and he pays. Picked off. Now Fada's going to come and try to turn this one. But at the same time, the Scarth Mage got solo top, so they're going to need Fada to do a lot of heavy lifting here. He'll bring down one. He may get a double kill out of this. Illidan trying to retreat out. He's got stick charges. He will be able to waveform out, but Bone 7's waiting with the Roar. Just gets destroyed by the TA. So in the end, they end up losing their Morphling. But they do strike, and a support, but they do take down the Eternal Envy Terrorblade, and they get a kill going the way of the Void. And this is also before the Centaur actually leaves his lane. Oh, I guess did he go top? No, I think he just stampeded from afar.
I mean, it's still not great for BP. Yeah, sure, they got a Terrorblade kill, but Terrorblade spent all his gold. Morphling, on the other hand, is still very poor looking at his item. It's just bottle on Aquila. He's actually number 4 and about 1,000 net worth, which is very significant when you're talking about 3,800 versus 2,800. So I don't really think that was worth it for BP.
Well, maybe they can keep it going. They smoke up on DK Phobos. They would love to just find some kills top and take down this tower, because that's where Eternal Envy gets restricted. Then he doesn't have access to his woods, and they will get that jump on Pylai Die. Blink Stomp, follow up Double Edge. They're finding their pickoffs. Fada's heading towards the bottom side of the map. Bone 7 stacking Ancients. They may do the Roche sneak already. Are they really going for it this early? I guess with TA you can. I mean, we talked about early Roche, but this is beyond early. Tier 1 still up mid for the Radiant. They're going to stomp an Illusion here. They don't seem to have any idea this is going on. Looks like it's going to work. It's pretty quick Roche, too.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about the C9 Roche strats. You just never know when it's coming. And it's just insanely difficult to stop, too. 10 minutes in, I mean, they're already doing it.
And well, what a convenient double damager. And Lil is leading a creep over to his own neutrals. He wants to go and check this Roche, but C9 are well aware that rotations might come, and it's already too late. So, with that, definitely a win for them over the past few minutes. Aegis now picked up on your TA. Eternal Envy. Yasha nearly complete. He's going to clear out a big stack here together with Bone 7, and pressure's on C9 to keep on, or on VPpolar to start finding some more pickoffs. They have the Blink Stomp ready to go. They'll try and jump Pylai Die. They also sentryed this lane, so they know that there's no lane ward. But it doesn't matter. Pylai Die just seems one step too far back to gank. And man, that Ancient stack is just a huge amount of gold. They finally get the jump into Pylai Die. Blink, Stop, Double Edge, and Mystic Flare drop to try and scare them off, but it's a kill. It's just the Scarth Mage, though. And they still haven't taken a tower on the back of these pickoffs.
I think VPpolar actually need to like stack and farm up themselves, making a go on Fada, but he has Aegis. Gonna turn right back around.
Fresh refraction charges, and the turn comes on to Lil. He's still got 4 refraction charges to dive this tower. How far will he go? There's a heal. There's a grave. They don't want to lose this Aegis, and it looks like they won't. Fada able to survive. Now the turn. Perhaps. They TP'd in a third hero, their Centaur, but no Stampede ready. They want to bait Fada into coming on the high ground, then they can spring the trap. Stomp. Double Edge. Well, maybe not with refraction here. They may kill the Aegis, but it's a big investment for that.
I mean, they might be able to just straight push a tower after this, too. I mean, Fada didn't really lose that much out of that fight, and everyone on VP has to go home to heal. Looks like DK Phobos looking to stack some of his own. I think that's what they need to do in response to C9's mass farm and Roshian sneaks and whatever, is just farm up on themselves. Get a stack Morphling, get a stack Faceless Void. They have a greedy lineup. They did well in the early game. Time to transition into the mid.
Yeah, and Eternal Envy really can begin to pull ahead here a lot. The Morphling's actually doing okay. Illidan's caught up fairly nicely, down 18 CS, so not as bad as of a deficit as what it once was. And the Terrorblade did get the Roche, but still, you know this Terrorblade farm will just accelerate dramatically, whereas Morphling's kind of a static farm curve. Not really a turbo farmer, so they'll try to get the Void involved here. Mag going back for his Midas, and they do have multiple cores, so there's decently a game on VPpolar, but theirs seems more contingent on finding really big pickoffs, whereas C9's is pretty much anything. Just rat your way to victory, 5-man push if you get the Aegis again. They seem to have more options overall.
Even, yeah, just gank with Beastmaster Skyram. It's not bad.
Gotta be careful about that Chrono. But, hey, when C9 are never on the map, which for the most part they haven't been, it's tough to get these kills. As we hit that 13-minute mark, your score 6-2, but a misleading score. As the real victors right now are C9. They got their early Roche. They're up by about 1,500 gold, 1,500 experience. It's not a big lead by any means, but considering how this game began, it's still a nice one.
C9 doing their thing, farming up.
Yeah, leave illusions in the jungle, send your hero back towards base to get mana. At the same time, there will be a smoke. And there could well be blood bottom lane. Bone 7 in an awkward position. Let's see if VPpolar get eyes. They do now. They spot up Highlight Eye. They don't see potentially the follow-up, though. There's a Mystic Flare onto the Morphling. Doesn't really catch on much as DK Phobos sleeps in. Gets the nice 2-hero stomp double-edge combo. AUI. TP out. Not going to happen. He'll end up dropping as well. Didn't even bother.
That was a 3-man stun by DK Phobos right there.
Oh, wow.
Jeez Louise.
That Centaur. Can't sleep on him. Especially in the hands of VPpolar. These CIS teams just love their Centaur.
For good reason.
Good hero. Still, classic Cloud9. Lose a couple heroes, take a tower anyway. Maybe take 2. With Eternal Envy pushing. They'll go in again for the stomp. This one connects on Pylai Die. Another takedown by DK Phobos. Well, C9 may have the split push, but they are just hemorrhaging kills right now to VPpolar. Make it 11-2. 5 kills in the space of about a minute and a half to 2 minutes. That's a team wipe. Yeah, they didn't kill the cores, but a team wipe's worth of kills. And even with these 2 towers falling, gold still seems to be going VPpolar's way. That's a double towers down, mid and top, and they're starting to slip a bit here, Ben. I don't think they're that much better late game that they can give up this many kills.
Nah, I don't know why they're trying to go for a kill on Morphling, because he can, unless they get the Ancient Seal before the morph, but even then they had Stampede to just bump him out of the Mystic Flare too, and just not enough damage. Maybe going for another kill on Illidan, but still, they need Roar, Ancient Seal into Roar into Skywrath ult, and that's a difficult order. It's only 45 seconds left on nighttime too, so I don't think they're going to be able to get a kill. I don't really think it's important to kill him. He doesn't have that much farm. He's going for a BKB rush either. Or BKB rush too.
Yeah, I'm guessing with VPpolar, they're thinking, we get this BKB on Morphling, we've got a Void with a Mask of Madness done soon. Our Centaur's pretty damn beefy, and it's going for a great item against the Terrorblade in this Crimson Guard. And then we probably just go take some big fights, try to secure the Roshan, deny it to Cloud9, play aggressive.
You know what else is a good item versus Terrorblade? Dagon 5.
Who's farming that this game, buddy?
Centaur.
Yeah?
He's 5-0-2.
Easy Dagon rush. Unless you Dagon an illusion. That's embarrassing.
Well, yes, Hoof Stomp, easy. Or, oh.
Uh-oh. Bottom lane, quick initiation here, and the other option is just that straight E-Blade to go with the Ogre's magical damage. We'll wait for the backstab here on DK Phobos. He does not have Stampede. That was already used to engage earlier. He'll go in for the stomp. Quick TP out attempt at Mystic Flare. Not in time. That Vanguard saving lives.
Yeah.
Easy bonus HP. Dagon would not have bailed him out there.
That Mystic Flare changed too.
Yeah, if that was 2 seconds instead of 2.4, maybe. Would have been close. Everything going VPpolar's way as far as these ganks go. But it's still a very close game. And the second they stop getting kills, the graph starts to tip against them a bit. Now granted, they're down a tower. So if you factor that in, maybe their lead's a bit more significant in practice, but let's see if they can actually ever claim a tower of their own. They're going to try for a mid now. Bringing in the entire squad. Lil joining up with FNG as well as DK Phobos. And they'll begin to work on this tower mid.
Yeah, DK Phobo is ready to pounce on Owie the moment he comes up and tries to redirect this wave.
They saw him, but it's more like, what do you do about it? And they still have vision on him. Doesn't really matter, though. C9 are not very good at defending their towers. They defend by split pushing. But there's no tier 1s to grab, so they're just going to give up the tower mid. They'll try and work on bottom, perhaps, but I don't think that happens in time here. Courier coming out with the Mask of Madness. More kill potential, ramping up. And they'll look for more. They've got a ward down. Fada's actually going to be revealed here. He goes inside Meld. Do they have detection? They do. Sentry Ward deployed, multicast. Now you're Ignite, and the double-edged follow-up, they blow Fada up. Still no tower bottom claimed. Glyph is still online. I think VPpolar can defend that one too if they want. Mega's the TP ready. They're just taking and not giving.
Yeah. I mean, TA is pretty much just a Roshan machine at this point.
Yeah, that is one issue with TA. You're up against a Void, so sure, you might be difficult to kill, but there's just so much control for her. Chrono, especially troublesome. The swap to just reposition your teammates. Lots of stuns, so she kind of needs to go BKB. But really not a Cloud9 staple.
I think she's just a chrono tank.
Yeah. Probably Fool's Gold to even try for her. Get their tower denied bottom lane. At the same time, Mag gets caught out. There's your Silence Mystic Flare combination. Rory used to set it up. At the same time, they look for the jump in top onto Fada. They may engage here. Stomp. He has Refraction, although now it wears off. They do not have detection for this, but they're going to go for the tier 1. At the same time, there's still a glyph for C9. They took down the tier 1 bottom. Was denied by the Void. Now the replicate of the Centaur attempting to zone Fada off the tower. They'll bring in reinforcements. Your Dazzle TPing in. Glyph was used. There's no replicate out because Illidan's using it to fight here. This could be problematic for him if anyone else came, but nobody else is coming. Pylai dies boarding the enemy jungle. The tier 1 top will fall. Make it now a 3-3 tower score as VPpolar even it up. 13-3.
2,500 gold lead for them. Still, they're going like these mid-game items too. Like, for example, the BKB on Morphling. If they don't really get kills with it, they aren't going to be able to transition into late. Although that is a different story for the Faceless Void, who did manage to pick up a Mask of Madness and a Midas, so he can transition pretty darn well and will be Terrorblade's main opponent.
Yeah, their mid-game will be strong. With the Crimson Guard complete, the Void, as you mentioned, having his core items, the Ogre working towards his Ags, BKB and Morph. They really are good at fighting now. And C9 are not that strong there, but Masters of Keep Away. Can they keep away? Can they just dodge these fights and get Eternal Envy 6 slotted?
Take Roche after Roche after Roche. That's what they need to do.
And they have vision of it. They've got eyes in the pit now with the trap planted down as I did miss Pylai Die getting blown up bottom lane. I have no idea what happened there, to be honest. But Wave, I guess, into Adaptive Strike just auto-attacked him down.
Okay, Pylai. Oh, they're going in a Roche.
Are they going to try to take this? C9 don't really have the best lineup to jump into the pit. They get some bashes on Mag. Lil stands beside him. They'll have vision, but then what? You don't have Chrono. You don't have a Blink Ravage. You don't have like an Elder Titan Earth Split or Stomp. Or Astral Spirit and then Stomp, then Earth Split.
Weave is pretty good, though.
And I guess Split Push works. They're showing Fada top lane, trying to draw VPpolar back. They really want to fight in the pit right now. They're just so strong there, but C9 are preventing them from grouping. And now they're going to TP in Fada. Still, VPpolar are going to play ping pong, but when they took that tower top, Pylai Die got down this Observer Ward as well as this one, and so they've got really good vision, not to mention this. 3 wards to scout out every single movement of VPpolar in their jungle, and even if you don't see them, that's still
But
enough.
they're drawn thin. Ogre's off to the left side now. Now they want to take a 45 into the pit.
Oh, blink in. Roar to start. Then the follow, Mystic Flare. Illidan's going to help tank this one, but FNG manages to get off the stun. They live! DK Phobos is going to turn it. Meg leaping forward. He finds another kill. Now Fada caught out, in trouble. BKB was popped. Everybody's joined this fight. Now the Chrono Fada, they'll finish him off. Eternal Envy just melted to that Centaur stomp, and they did not manage to get off a grave on AUI 2000 that fight.
Okay,
Now into the pit. Now C9 in all kinds of trouble.
Yeah, that's
They brought Eternal Envy to a fight. He died. They're going to lose Roche. They lost their TA.
Their game
Unless
plan's
Bone
too
7 can Blake
obvious.
steal this. He might try for it. He tried. He snatched the... He got the Roche kill with his axes.
Nice play.
Very nice.
Still, no Aegis on Terrorblade. That's really bad for Cloud9. They really utilize the Aegis on Terrorblade, and that's how they really propel him into the later game. Now, he's just vulnerable to a simple Chronosphere plus any sort of burst that BP may throw at him. And FNG, he has drums. He's tanky. He's a tanky Vengeful Spirit.
Yeah, 1100 health, 8 armor.
He's
I
like
mean, everyone's tanky. Honestly.
Same HP as a Terrorblade.
The other thing is when it comes to direct fights, I'm not really sure the Terrorblade's that amazing. Because Crimson Guard's there to mitigate a lot of his damage. You've got everyone else tanky. Obviously, Ogre's tanky. Morphling is squishy, but as a BKB, and they've got no way to prevent him from Strength Morphing. No Doom, no Hex. So he'll be able to toggle it in fights. Your Centaur, pretty damn durable. The Void is as a BKB, so how much damage will Eternal Envy actually do this game? He's got to be really far ahead to truly pack a punch. Well, it's not like he's up against 4 or 5 squishies with low armor and low HP pools.
I think a problem is that TA is not farmed enough to be a threat to Chrono. They can just ignite, stun her with Ogre, and then she has to back off, or just blink stun her with Centaur, and then just save Chrono for Terrorblade. I doubt he's going to be able to get his ulti off, unless maybe Dazzle has a nice grave. But even then, I still think they can just burst through his HP pool twice.
They look for Mag bottom lane. He time walks out just in the nick of time. He saw Bone 7 coming, and he just knew trouble was afoot. Now they'll bring in reinforcements. It's FNG just waiting bottom. If they go on Mag, blow Aurora, and he just gets swapped out, then goes back in with the Chronosphere, that could be very bad. And the fight may brew. Illidan pinged out now. Not the hero. Cloud9 just cannot go on that hero. Unless they get the instant Scarlet Mage Sans. I mean, even then I guess you just BKB. So yeah, they really can't kill him. Blink. Stomp is there. Eternal Envy. Nice Manta dodge, but then into the Stampede. They'll continue pursuit. They don't have the Stomp stun, but they do have the Venge swap into a Magic Missile. Waveform burst. Not enough. He manages to get off the Sunder, but they still fight through this. They're going to pop the Crimson Guard. Where's that Grave from AOI 2000? Didn't use it. He halter stepped, stuttered, and then ends up going down as well. That's 2 down. At the same time, they did manage to pick off one of their own top, bringing down the Ogre, and the Centaur did fall bottom in the end, but another death for the Terrorblade.
And with that blow, Illidan will pull ahead in terms of farm over EE, and
he's going back for a Linkage Sphere. Very uncommon. He's up against Roar and the Scarlet Mage Silence, so not too bad game. Not too bad of a game for that.
Yeah, I suppose. But at the same time, he's not really under any pressure. Like, if they focus him, everyone else will die. Or everyone on C9's team will die. Just because he's, like, ridiculously tanky. Unless he doesn't get the Morph off before Ancient Seal. But that shouldn't be terribly difficult for him.
They would have to Ancient Seal him. Oh, well, he's already got to complete a Lincolns anyway, but they'd have to Ancient Seal him and Roar him.
Like, yeah, and Skywrath ulti him.
So he can't BKB. Because otherwise he'll just BKB and you can't silence him anymore. And even then, I don't know if they have the burst. Trouble is afoot for Cloud9 here in this best of 3 winner bracket semifinal. Their opening match of playoff play. Playoff play. Is that a thing? I don't know. It doesn't look too good. I mean, VPpolar goes pretty damn late. Like, they have great team fight, tons of physical damage, good magic damage, so it's a nice mix overall, really good initiation. And if they get farmed enough, then they do split push pretty freely. Morphling split pushes freely. Void can be played very aggressive and cocky if he gets his items out. And they've always got the Stampede to disengage, so... For now, Eternal Envy tries to hang on to the creep equilibrium. It's not easy.
Yeah, I mean, the VP has just been able to sort of outgreed Cloud9 most of the game, too, with their superior late game, and that may be the solution to Terrorblade, especially when they kept the TA down so darn well in the early game.
I just feel like
with
the TA pick hasn't done much, because, to be honest, that roast that they went for, I feel like they could have gone away with that with a hero that just brings more to the fights. We've seen so many games where Cloud9 sneaks Roche with, like, it looks like a bad Roche lineup, like Terrorblade plus Beastmaster, that's it. And they still make it work.
Yeah, I don't think it was necessary for the roast, but I don't think they also expected it to get shut down so hard by Ogre early.
Oh, forget about going for superior late game. VPpolar are going for superior right now. They push in the middle lane. Dazzle ultimate will be used, and it's going to reduce the armor here of Illidan quite a bit, but still he chunks down this tower mid. He waves on in. Dawn to Pylite Die smacks him down, looks for more. Even if they kill him once, that's just the Aegis. They do have a Necrobook out now, and they'll manage to take down FNG as well. Pretty damn good fight to start this off. Illidan now BKBing, looking to retreat out. At the same time, Eternal Envy spreading his way through this fight. Try to isolate DK Phobos on the backside. He pops the Metamorphosis, going to work. At the same time, Fauna, BKB, Mystic Flare used, but Illidan waves over the top, kills off Pi again. Still, they may lose their Morphling for this. Strength Morphing, surviving for now. They managed to bring down Eternal Envy. Still Illidan left standing. Traps drop. He's finally out of mana. At long last, the gargantuan Godzilla of a Morphling falls, but they lose their Terrorblade yet again. A 2 for 2. That was also a buyback and a dieback on the Scarlet Mage, so I guess it was a 2 for 3 with that.
Yeah, that was just a couple of minutes ago. Morphling and Terrorblade were neck and neck, and now Terrorblade, even after like his early game massive farm in the jungle, he's falling pretty far behind. And they lost their T3. What are they going to do about the next one? What are they going to do when Aegis and Cheese come out on VPpolar? Yeah,
when Mag gets a BKB, like then you have no chance of killing this Void before Chronos. Absolutely none. At that point, unless you get a Hex or something, but that's not looking like it's going to happen. Fada's gone for the Necrobook. It seems like a pretty decent pickup against the Morphling, just because I don't know how they kill him without it, but it also is not going to offer them a ton of control in these team fights.
Whew.
Trouble City for Cloud9. Stomp will find Fada to start in the river, and now they're going to bring in reinforcements. Stampede was used, further slowing him down. Now he BKBs, and then he meets Mag, who doesn't have a Chronosphere usage yet. He'll Chrono, but it's only an AUI. As Fada heads to the left, not really the best Chrono. Also Trappy and DK Phobos, well, that'll help. 2 shots down, the AUI goes. Bone 7 trying to retreat out. The Stomp did not connect, but the multicast won't miss. And they'll bring him down in the end. Still a 2-0, even though it wasn't the best team fight execution. They're just that far ahead.
Yeah, a little bit of sloppy chrono by Mag there. And TA actually escapes. He didn't want to BKB TV because of the swap and just kind of casually struts away.
Illidan's going to roll in mid. He's wave forming, and now he might get caught out here. But reinforcements are arriving as Pi will meet the Centaur. Doesn't like what he's found. Fada trying to TP out. Stomp was just a bit short, but good thinking from DK Phobos, and it's straight down the middle lane for your 5-position support Vengeful Spirit. Let's start auto-attacking buildings. We've got creeps in bottom, FNG looking to lead VPpolar to a surprising 1-0 advantage against Cloud9. 2 stand-ins, 1 player who was cut from Na'Vi, another who was cut from Empire, no problem. VPpolar, a bit of a motley crew of rejects. They're doing work.
Easy
They're going to
racks.
take an easy racks. They'll retreat out. Eternal Envy thwarted in his efforts to split push. They're doing it, Ben.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a way that Cloud9 can overcome this big 10,000 gold and racks. Like, what's he supposed to do in fights? I feel like he's just gonna melt. 1749 HP, that's pretty sizable. He just recently completed a Scotty, but like, you have super tanky heroes on the side of Radiant. You have an Ogre Magi with a point booster, 9 armor. You have a Heart Centaur, and then on top of that you have a Crimson Guard too for whoever gets focus.
Yeah, so only the main hero will really do anything in these fights. And that hero can just be chronoed, multicast, because there's no BKB yet. Honestly, the magic damage will be his undoing, and soon enough Illidan may have his first item that dishes out damage in the E-Blade.
Yeah, one multicast.
E-Blade into multicast, that's a dead Eternal Envy. No chance.
I mean, he'll probably die at a hoof stomp at this point too. And
it honestly seems like they just have to get VPpolar to waste abilities, maybe take advantage of a buyback, because otherwise I just don't know how you do it. Mag will get caught out. He has a BKB, though. They'll Stampede. It does force out a BKB charge, but time to play a little craps. Ogre McGee going to bring that beautiful Aghanim Scepter to bear.
Roshan respawning in just 25 seconds time. Well, C9 are actually the ones closest to the pit, so this may be their ticket back into the game.
Maybe. There is no Void BKB. There's no Stampede, but only for another 30 seconds. At the same time, I don't think they do it fast enough. Certainly not with VPpolar this close. They'll send in a replicate to scout Roche. Not up yet, but will be momentarily. They actually scouted right before respawn, but it was close to a max duration one, so they should know. And Morphling's going to try and draw them back with this split push top lane. It's Illidan who's playing confidently. It's Eternal Envy who's playing scared, and understandably so. They'll bring in more reinforcements. Mag lurking in the woods. Near Pylai die. He has the Chrono ready. They've got an Ops Ward down. But multiple heroes here. He's going to go for it. BKB, not available. Bone 7 just stands and watches. The Roar was going down for 2 more seconds. I think they didn't expect Mag to jump that until the Roar was ready. Well, they waited too long. Now Mag, time walking out again. We'll retreat, and hey, free Roche now. Space created. I don't even think they get to the pit in time. They're going to try. Cloud9 bringing in Bone 7, bringing in Thana. They've got an eye right outside the pit. They should know what's up. But do they finish this off in time? Blinking from DK Phobos. Aegis and Cheese still on the ground. Got to grab those fast. And they will. Illidan snaps up the Aegis. The Cheese going the way of your Centaur. Go bottom lane. Push for 2 racks.
They desperately wanted that Roshan too, but just no way that they can contest it at this
And
point.
all of a sudden, VPpolar have a Tricore who are all outfarming Eternal Envy and Fada. With Bloodlust backing them up, with Vengezara backing them up. Mass physical damage, mass magic damage. Great AoE. It just wasn't supposed... This was not how the script was written for Eternal Envy and friends.
Cloud9 doesn't have any AoE control in fights. closest thing they have is what, like Roar,
Roar pushback, I
maybe
guess. Yeah.
Conk Shot Slow and Sonic Trap. Those are all like very crummy in terms of team fight control. Whereas you have like Faces Void Ultimate and Centaur with his blink and his gargantuan HP pool.
Well, they're running out of time here, Ben. Ethereal Blade's going to be online for the next fight. They have the Ag Scepter on Ogre. He's got his level 2 ultimate and the multicast. So we're looking at Ethereal Blade, potential for double multi, insta-gib potential on AUI 2000 if he gets caught. I mean, honestly, I think any one hero in this game can just die instantly to that combo. Even Eternal Envy has only got 1800 health. That is not much against an Ogre, Ethereal Blade, and Aghanim Scepter.
Game plan: bait out Chrono on EE, get the Shallow Grave on him, swap the Centaur,
Go
kill
for
the
a big
Centaur.
initiation from the back. That seems to be part of it, too.
I mean, they're still...
Well, so much for that. DK Phobos just spotted them out. Say goodbye to your Pylite die. Caught out by the Centaur, just minced down. They can't even kill the Centaur replicate, dude. This is not good for Cloud9. In game 1 of this best of 3, they are struggling mightily as Eternal Envy gets slammed to the ground. Holy crikey, that burst damage. They'll Brain and Bone 7. Casual drive-by, casual demise. Cloud9 just getting run over by VPpolar. Who needs a full 5-man roster? They've got the power of, I don't know, what do you call it? Vengeance? They want to show that teams were wrong to let some of these players go. They'll try. Fada graved and caught out, but
He doesn't even tickle Phobos.
doesn't matter. They don't tickle anyone. They didn't even use Chrono in that fight. They still have the Morphling Aegis to boot. I don't think they propped the cheese either. No, that's still up. Buyback attempted. Cloud9 are really desperate at this point. They'll go for whatever they can get. Blink in from DK Phobos. He does get silenced. Nicely done, but still he tanks. He's got cheese even if they bring him down low. Swap forward from FNG, bringing Fada back into the fray and ultimately sealing his fate. Now they catch him out. GG. Cloud9. One loss away from dropping down to the loser's bracket here in the Summit Europe. Would not be eliminated, but would have a long and painful road to go. VPpolar. Surprising and impressing.
Too obvious game plan from Cloud9. I mean, they destroyed mid because the supports weren't there. And, I mean, even when Skywrath was there, they just completely took advantage of how they like to play. If they do rotate in, this is only one support, and they love to play greedily. Farm up Ancients, farm up all 3 lanes, and farm up jungle, and then that only leaves like one person to float around, and they just went with the dual roam. I don't know exactly how C9 is going to counter it with that sort of playstyle. I think they just need to change it up completely.
Well, let's see if they pull something out of the bank. For now, it's all VPpolar.
The Slardar, do it.
That would be something fresh, something different. We saw the Slark, didn't work out, but the other fish seems to be more to their liking. Salmon, not tilapia. Or the other way around, I don't know. Either way, doesn't matter. Cloud9, they lose game 1, guys. It is a best of 3. They'll have a chance to bounce back. You're watching the Summit 2 Europe by G2A.com. I'm LD, he's Merlini. Stick around. We'll be right back.